crappy day on the coast to coast. As you can see, the weather is pretty awful. Another day of 21 degrees and unbroken sunshine, I think it's forecast, which is fine, except it's quite hard work. I'm running out of sun cream, and it's quite hard work carrying a fairly hefty sack when it's this warm. But hey, who's complaining? It could be lashing down with rain, so just walking along the banks of the River Swale below Reeth. Nice woodland beside the river. Been following the River Swale now for best part, well, it's all of yesterday, and certainly will be for most of today, well, all of today as well. So anyway, all good. As I said, the route today follows the River Swale all the way down to Richmond and beyond. These are the 375 nun steps that lead up from the Priory to the church in Marwick. The church now contains an honesty shop for coast to coast walkers. After Marwick, the route climbs up to Applegarth Scar. You're still following Swaledale, but slightly further up from the valley bottom. Looking back into the valley, there's quite a display of hawthorn blossom. So just heading down from Reeth to Richmond. That's the first sight of Richmond down there in the bottom, and the hills beyond there are the North York Moors, so look fairly close, but actually it's a 20-mile schlep across the Vale of Mowbray. Richmond's pretty much the biggest town on the route, and it's a good point for resupplying. I pushed on through there though because I wanted to get to Colburn to give me a chance of getting across the Vale of Mowbray the next day. The view back towards Richmond on the way out to Colburn. Of course, it isn't all suffering. I'm camped in the Bay Garden at the Hilliard Arms in Colburn at the moment, which is very pleasant. Just pop into the bar and get a couple of pints and have my tea brought out by the landlady. So good place, actually, recommended, and very, very pleasant. May have a fairly unpleasant day tomorrow because it's the crossing of the Vale of Mowbray, which is just 20 miles of hot agricultural land, a lot of it on road as well, I think, so not to look forward to, but I might just have another pint before I go to bed. Hilliard Arms in Colburn, bacon sandwich at 7 o'clock in the morning, brought out by the landlady. You can just about see the North York Moors on the horizon there. It's still a good 20 miles away, and you can see the sort of agricultural landscape it is. I mean, it's pan flat, so that might help a little bit in terms of making the distance, but I still think it's going to be 9-10 hours straight walking to get there. But the alternative is to make 2 days out of it, and actually it probably won't be the most interesting walking, so it's better just to get it done, I think, as long as the feet and the knees hold up. It's the scenic delights of the A1M. I think there must be an underpass down here somewhere, so I'll get under this and get away. It's not what you want on a wilderness walk, is it? But then, if you're crossing the country, I guess you've got to cross a few motorways. Nearly 7 miles into the Vale of Mowbray crossing, and it's only 10 past 10 in the morning. I think the North York Moors are looking a little bit closer, but it's probably an optical illusion. But actually making pretty good progress. I mean, helped by the fact that I'm walking on pan flat roads and sort of flat, dry agricultural fields. But at the moment, feeling quite optimistic about making it to Ingleby Cross for tonight. Anyway, we'll see how I feel later on after a few more miles.
The highlight of this section was a hare that hopped down the road in front of me for a while. Some of the path sections on this stage were pretty overgrown. I think if I was doing it later on in the year, I'd consider bringing a machete.
Well, the edge of the North York Moors, or the Cleveland Hills, whichever way they're called, is seems to be getting closer. But it's been a long, hot day. It's still only 2:30, so doing pretty well. And I've knocked out best part of 15 miles since 7:30 this morning. So we'll be over 20 by the time I get to my destination at Ingleby Cross. But pretty fast going really, because most of it's farm tracks and roads, so can't complain really. It's probably an easy 20 miles. The day tomorrow is meant to be 21 miles, and it isn't an easy 21 miles. I don't know whether I'll be able to do that. And there's no real options to bail on that one, so it could be a wild camp tomorrow night, but we'll see how we get on. Maybe with my newfound fitness I could knock out a full 21 miles with loads and loads of climbing, but all in all it would be a hard day. But anyway, we'll see.
It's funny how I'm always nervous crossing railway lines, even when I can see for miles. I think it was because I was forced to watch too many public safety films when I was a kid at school.
I've done 18.5 miles, probably a mile and a half to go. I guess that's the work for the day done, but bloody hell it was hard work. 20 miles though, so that was hard work, roads, sun, and lots and lots of overgrown tracks. And tomorrow's 21 miles.
Having survived the crossing of the A19, I just needed to carry on half a mile down this lane to find the Bluebell Inn, where hopefully I can camp and get some food. The mileages above the door at the cafe at Ingleby Cross were encouraging. Camped at the Bluebell Inn, had a new experience, which was a chicken parmo, which is a local delicacy, chicken smothered in bechamel sauce. Nicer than it sounds.